Hi everyone, this is Judy Sandrock, and I'm going to be taking you through understanding the Kibana dashboard when you're using your Max IQ Space Kit. First of all, let's have a look at Internet of Things. IoT devices gather data and send that data through the internet for processing. That data is analyzed centrally, and then instructions based on that analysis are returned to devices. So in this particular case, your Max IQ kit is actually behaving as an IoT device. And what happens is you've connected your kit to Wi-Fi and to the internet. And then what happens is that that data is transferred to our corporate data center, which actually sits in the USA, hosted by Google. Then what happens is that when you open your Kibana dashboard and you set up your Kibana dashboard, it calls that data, and via the internet, once again, it actually then displays that on your computer screen. So this corporate data center is referred to as an MQTT server, and that is a specific technology that was developed to handle Internet of Things. So if you actually want to access your data on that MQTT server, you need to go to the web address data.maxiq.space. And the first time you log in, it'll be asking you for a username and a password. And so that username is data and the password is MaxIQ. I want you to be aware that everybody who has a MaxIQ device actually uses this dashboard. So it's very, very important that you set up your own dashboard for your own kit and that you don't overwrite any of the templates. So this is what we've done is we've opened a browser and we've put in data.maxiq.space, username data, and password MaxIQ. And then you will find that you land on the Discover page. And this Discover page is now showing a count of all of the different kits that are connected around the world. And that really doesn't mean much to you. What you want to do is you actually want to specifically look for data that comes from your kit. So you will see what you do is you put your kit name in there before the asterisk, and you can see that's exactly what I've done is I have a kit that's set up called Judy Space Office. And so I've put that in, and now I can actually start seeing the data that refers to that kit. There we go. So you can see I took the screenshots on the 2nd of February, 2023, and this is the data that I have from my kit. So I now can see on the Discover tab that my kit is actually posting data to the internet and is saving it on the MQTT server. So what we're going to do as the next step is to begin configuring our visualizations and dashboards. And the link to the video that covers these topics is in the description of this video on YouTube, so it makes it easier for you. Here I am on Kibana. I'm in the Discover tab, and you can see that what it does, it automatically defaults to the SDG index, which is an acronym for the Sustainable Development Goals. And this is the index that we use for all of our Max IQ kits. So we can see that certainly my kit called Judy Office has been collecting data. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to go to the dashboard. So on the left-hand side here, we can see there's a tab called Dashboard. I'm going to go there, and we have created a template for the project in Maine. So I'm going to go here I'm going to search here for Maine, and we can see here Maine Space STEM template. So I'm going to go to that. And you can see that on this template, what it does is it asks you to insert your kit name here. So what it is that you can see this data that's displaying is really very much all over the place. So before you even do that, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go to save, and I cannot express this enough. You really need to save it as a new dashboard because we do not want you to overwrite what is there. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to actually name this. I'm going to name this whole dashboard Judy March 2023. I'm saving it as a new dashboard, and I go save. And then what I can do is I'm going to put my kit name in here, and I'm going to say Judy Office, and I'm going to click the search there. There we go. Now what it's doing is now it's displaying the data from my kit called Judy Office. We can see that what I did is that I actually disconnected it to bring it on my trip. So we can see here that I disconnected it on March the 12th, and that's absolutely fine. But it's displaying the data for me for the last 30 days. What I could do is that I could go and change that. So let me open up that tab. What you can see here is you've got the time range. You can go quick. I could go for the last 60 days. So maybe let me do that. I can have a look at what's been happening the last 60 days. What I could also do is if I open that again, I can click here. You see at top right-hand side, when I open up that gray panel, it says auto refresh. So I'm going to go auto refresh every 5 seconds because that really helps me. I don't have to go. If my kit was connected, I wouldn't have to go and refresh all the time. So what I do is that I save that again. Now I'm very happy with this kit name, so I don't need to save it as a new dashboard this time. So let me go to save, and there we go. Now, perhaps what I want to do is maybe I actually want to add another visualization. We can see here that I have temperature, I have light intensity and lux, relative humidity, RSSI, Wi-Fi signal strength. So you can see that over the period, when I'd moved my kit, my signal strength really dropped dramatically. I wasn't happy with that. It was too much of a spotty signal. So when I moved it to this final location, I had a really relatively strong signal strength. So that is why I left my kit there. I very seldom connect my soil moisture sensor, as you can see. And the kit is located in the Western Cape of South Africa. So you can see every now and then what happens is that it'll look as if it's actually off the coast of Africa. If we were to zoom in, that would actually be 0 latitude, 0 longitude. So what happens is that if I'm using my my smartphone data connection, then what happens is it doesn't know the location. So it puts it in a 0, 0. So it looks as if I'm sitting in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. And here is my data table. So what I could do is that I could download the data either as raw or formatted to a spreadsheet, and then I can do some really great analysis. So you can see what I've done here is that I've included a lot more data, cloud-based, cloud temperature, dew point, etc. Right, so what I want to do is that I actually want to add a visualization to this. So I'm going to say over here, I'm going to say add, and on the right-hand side, add a new visualization. And in this case, what I really want to do is that I want to scroll to the bottom and have a vertical bar chart. So there we go. As I mentioned earlier, we always use the SDG index. So I'm just going to click on that SDG index. To build my visualization, I wanted to pull the data from my own kit. So I'm going to put in here Judy Office. And I'm going to search for that. And what this is doing is it's giving me the count of data packets that have come in over the last 60 days, but that's not very useful for me. So when I open up my y-axis, what you want to do is you always want to go for average because the kit is posting data every 10 seconds. So what you want to do is you want to have an average over a particular time slot. And in this case, what I want to do is I'm very interested in dew point. So from my weather sensor, I wanted to calculate dew point. So I'll put that in here, dew point, and that is always measured in degrees centigrade. And then my x-axis, I always want to have is date histogram because I want to have the date and time. Great. So now we push play over here. And now it's displaying it. So we can see here that this is the dew point. And because it's in Cape Town, which is Southern Hemisphere during summer, It's quite interesting. So the dew point is, around about anywhere between 18 or 19 degrees and perhaps 14 degrees. So dew point is the temperature at which dew forms. So overnight, what happens is that as the temperature drops off, it decreases. And we can see here we had an anomaly where the dew point would have been -5 degrees. So we can see we've got quite a serious outlier here. So if I go back and actually have a look at what I was doing with the kit, then I would probably had it set up somewhere in some crazy place, like in a fridge or something like that. I was probably conducting an experiment. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this visualization, and I'm going to say that this is Judy Office March 2023 dew point. And I'm going to click save and add to the dashboard. So now I'm back on my dashboard. If I scroll to the bottom, here we go. Here's my dew point. And I actually want to move this up. I want to move this up so that it's sitting underneath my temperature. So I want to see how well that tracks. So the temperature, I'm going to move that out. Okay, there we go. So yeah, very interesting. Something happened on that day there. What I can do is I can go back and I can have a look at that. But yeah, so I'm going to save. I'm going to save my dashboard again with that name. And there we have it. Thanks all, and I will see you in the next video when we go through more tips.